It's my favorite. I love this intro.
Love
Happy
it.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Okay, so the hauntings this time of year, they're not typically historic, right?
Yes, but if you head to the Old North Cemetery in West Hartford, they will be. Marcy Jones is there live to explain. Hey, Marcy, how are you?
Hi, we're doing absolutely fabulous. Now, the scariest thing about the West Hartford Hauntings this year is it's sold out. Pain in our hearts, but it's okay because it's been going on for 18 years. It's going to go on for far longer than that, and you've got chances to do it again next year. So I am here with the artistic director. I am here with Suzanne Sayers. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm so excited to talk about this because I have never been.
Okay.
So kind of take us through, for anybody who's not familiar with West Hartford Hauntings, what's it all about?
Sure. Well, this is a lantern-led tour through the cemetery. We have a tour guide, Mary Bissell, this year. She was born about 200 years ago. She tells her story throughout.
Okay.
And then she visits different scenes. The first scene they visit is Jacob Merrill and Mary Merrill. These are all real stories about real people who lived and died in West Hartford. Jacob Merrill, unfortunately, died by falling on a pitchfork, which was embedded into his groin. And he lived for 3 days. So
A pitchfork to the groin?
a pitchfork to the groin.
That is the scariest thing I've heard.
He died of sepsis.
Okay.
And because the doctor could not get to him for a few days. So the scene that we have is his family surrounding him as he's dying. And again, these are real stories, and people didn't have the modern medicine, obviously, that we have today.
Right. Now, over the 18 years, I imagine that you've seen a lot of reactions from people.
Yes.
What are some of the reactions that you've gotten from folks that come to enjoy the haunting?
I mean, I think people really love it. They know these are real stories, but we also want to make it a bit scary because it's Halloween, and we kind of look for the most, I don't know, either unpleasant stories or the most kind of horrific deaths that we can find. I really do. This year, we also do a murder in West Hartford, which was John McGuire, a farmhand, and he does get murdered. So we pull from real stories, but the audience reaction, I mean, they love it. I think they love to be a little bit scared.
Right.
They don't know what's going to go on as they're walking through the cemetery. Tis the season, absolutely.
And this is lantern lit, so that's got to be a sight to see.
Yeah, so that's the only light. We have lanterns lighting the pathways as well, because all these tours in the cemetery are at nighttime.
Okay, so here we have our
This is poor Jacob Merrill.
Oh, Jacob.
So Jacob Merrill, he's had, and you can see the pitchfork.
There's the pitchfork.
He fell from a haymow onto the pitchfork, which was embedded. It's since been removed from his wife.
Right.
And they're waiting for the doctor. So Mary has been sopping up the blood with her apron. And it's so sad. Very sad.
And I'm laughing, and I can't.
You know, this is a sad, but actually, sort of, when you're watching it, it's an entertaining scene. I mean, you may not want to think of that as entertaining, but it's quite funny.
I really can't think of anything worse than a pitchfork to the groin. Yeah.
Right. And most men in the audience kind of
Are they like, oh, geez.
People are like, I'm not going to sleep tonight.
I bet. Now, what are some of the other stories that we may hear at the hauntings, or we have heard before?
So we have the Wells sisters also. That's another scene. They lived in Simsbury, and they were really kind of shunned in West Hartford because their father was claimed to be a heretic because of his religion. We also have the Steele family, the children, and that's another sad story where 2 of the children died as well as the parents, all within 10 days, and then they left all the children orphaned and had to go live with other family members and strangers. And then we have the murder of John McGuire and the farmhand and Mrs. Bissell. So our tour guide ends up being part of that murder scenario. So it all ties together.
Now, do you do the same stories each year? Do you kind of alter them, make them different?
Yep, we change them. Sometimes we write new stories every year. We recycle stories. We do a lot of research. The Noah Webster House has researchers, so I take the stories. Sometimes I write them. I edit all the stories. So we change them, and then I do in-between scenes as well. Those are the unexpected moments that the audiences are not
That is incredible.
Yeah.
Now, if folks are planning on coming next year, what age range would you say kind of starts to get it, or isn't too spooked?
We usually say ages 12 and up. Sometimes people bring kids who are younger and maybe more comfortable in the cemetery, but it is a dark cemetery, so that in and of itself can be a little scary.
Right. Especially when there's a pitchfork laying around.
Right.
All right, well, we have so much more to talk about. You guys, we're going to be back in just a little bit. Thank you so much, Suzanne.
Thank you.
Mars, that is incredible.
It's incredible. Oh my goodness. Also, do you see her sneakers?
That's all you have to complain about?
All right, thanks, Mars. We'll check in with you in just a little bit.
All right.
She's out there having a great time.
Yep, as always.
All right.